That's what we said. Hear what we'll say. Have a good day. Boo-hoo.
That's What We Said, where we decide if a movie is a flop or a bop. Today our hosts are Lauren,
Marina, and Manu.
and we're going to talk about our views on the movie La La Land. The movie La La Land is directed by Damien Chazelle, and it was released in 2017, where it gained a global success. The star actors Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone play Sebastian and Mia, where we see how their lives were before they fell in love with each other and how they both support each other's dreams. Sebastian's big dream was to have his own jazz club, and Mia's was to be a famous actress.
Yeah, they both try to support each other to achieve their dreams, but in the end they grow apart due to differences in their lives and external factors.
Okay, so I think a good place to start would be acting. What do you guys think about that? The acting in La La Land.
So, I think first we have to acknowledge that both actors are phenomenal. Both of them have been part of plenty of very successful movies and they have a name for themselves. But I personally am very biased because I do not like musicals, and that is coming from a theater kid, so I have a very different opinion. And the acting was really, really good. Even when they are singing, they're still acting and demonstrating their emotions with the music itself. So, yes.
Yeah, and I feel like I also usually do not like musicals. However, in this case, I feel like it's completely different. I don't know why, but something about this musical, it hits me a different way, and I feel like it's more life-like to me. And also about Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone, I feel like their chemistry in this movie was impeccable. Like, they were able to play off each other so well, and they were able to really involve the audience so that they could feel like they're following the story. Like, it really feels like you're living a life.
The intimacy, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that is, it seems like it's obvious, but it's actually rare to have two actors that are really on the same page and they have really that chemistry that seems real and makes the audience actually believe that they're falling in love. And I personally love when acting doesn't look like acting, feels like a real love and real feelings, and I felt that from this movie, even though there was music in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I personally really like musicals, but and I feel like they should be very expressive and show very emotions because you're trying to tell a story, but also having songs and music supporting the story. So for me, and I acknowledge that Ryan Gosling is a fantastic actor. He's won many prizes. But in La La Land, I just feel like he wasn't it. He wasn't there. Like, it was as if his body was acting, but his mind was somewhere else. And I don't know. There were so many scenes where he was just like monotone and like just not expressive as enough.
Do you not think that was kind of what the character was supposed to be like, or is it just how he like acted in it?
I mean, I don't know honestly, but it could be both. It could be the character's personality, but I feel like there were certain scenes. For example, when Mia went home and they were technically fighting in the car. She was like, "I don't want to do this anymore." And he shouted. He like slammed the car and he shouted, but his face was still. You know, he didn't show anger. For me, at least, his
But I
face didn't
personally
show.
believe that makes it even more powerful. Like, less acting, more tension. In some sort of way, not speaking, not like really demonstrating what you're feeling and actually making the audience feel through the vibe of the scene. For me, that's very good acting. But I acknowledge what you
Exactly, because I do like in certain scenes I feel like he could have been acting a little bit more, but I think maybe because I'm biased about Ryan Gosling, I feel like he's a really, really good actor. I thought because in my opinion I feel like he played the role that he was supposed to be playing, because I feel like Sebastian, so Gosling, as you know, he plays Sebastian. So Sebastian, I feel like he's supposed to be more of a timid like character, and I know that we were able to see in the beginning that he was a little bit more like nervous about certain things. He's a little bit anxious person, but like I don't think he's super like vocal. Like he's vocal in a certain way, but like not in a stereotypical way.
He's that type of person that just how do you say, is it that? Yeah, he avoids his feelings
and confrontation.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know though. I like feel like Ryan Gosling is a great actor for sure, but I just feel like he could have done more in this movie.
Okay,
Is it because he doesn't sing well, or is it because...
No, it's just because he's not expressive enough and he doesn't show emotions at all.
Okay, so I know you don't like musicals, Marina, but what do we think about the soundtrack?
I mean, it is amazing. The music is good. It's because I like authenticity, and for me, musicals make it not seem real. And as I said before, it connects to the fact that for me, I love acting, but I don't like to see acting. I like to see real emotions. And for me, the music in the middle makes it not seem like it's actually happening. So in some sort of way, it makes me more distant from feeling the actual emotion that the movie is trying to portray.
And okay, so like I said, I usually don't like musicals either. However, for this one, I feel like there are some songs that I do agree that like kind of made it a little bit less real to me, but there are certain ones that, like, for example, the one that is like the one that La La Land is most known for, which is Sebastian and Mia's song.
Yeah, the tap dance?
No, the piano one. And certain things like that, because they do have this jazz and classical. The one that is like they're in this jazz band, Sebastian's playing for Mia, and there's also the one that Mia and Sebastian are playing the song. Both of those are jazz and classical. I just feel like it's more in real life that would happen. I feel like it's less scripted. Yeah, I feel like it could actually happen in real life, and so I didn't feel too disconnected in those situations. But like the tap dance and like the beginning song into the movie, I feel like it was kind of disconnecting to the fact of like could be happening in real life.
I mean, I like musicals as a whole, but like I feel like I'm not saying this to be the biggest La La Land hater, but I don't know. I feel like for the songs, they definitely fit in with the vibe of the movie.
Yeah.
Because they were very animated, they were jazz, they were pop, and that's basically what the movie was about. And especially as a movie that talks about dreams, it talks about, at least for Sebastian, how he wanted to portray his own, like pursue his own career in music and stuff. I feel like it makes sense being a musical. Because then it kind of gives off that energy, you know?
Yeah, because she wants to be an actress, they're kind of acting,
yeah.
and it just incorporates both of their dreams into the movie. So I think that's where I think it could happen, because he's a musician and she's very musically talented. So I feel like that doesn't really disconnect from me.
Yeah.
For me personally, I really love music. I'm not usually a jazz person, but I really like the jazz songs in here. And just like I said, it was very well thought out, the songs in my opinion, because literally all of these are made specifically for this movie. So it really makes you follow the movie well.
May I start about color theory?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you guys.
It's okay.
It was that.
I am completely done.
Okay, so I really wanted to talk about color theory and the importance that it has in this movie. So it might go unnoticed by some viewers, but the color theory is all thought out in all scenes and shots. And that comes with not only the clothes that the actors are wearing, but the scenery in general. So if you watch the movie, you can analyze that on scenes that they're supposed to transmit a happy and light feeling, the shots are taken with a yellow undertone, and Emma is wearing yellow as well. And on the scenes that is supposed to be more dramatic and more heartful, it's dark and heavy. And I think that this movie is a great example of how color theory is well used and thought out for emotion transmission towards the audience. And I thought that was phenomenal, and I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that I wanted to talk about this during our review because that was so well planned out.
Yeah, and also we can see that in the poster as well, because in the official poster of the movie is like a sunset, like a purple dark tone sunset with orange, and Mia is there with her famous yellow dress while Sebastian's with this kind of suit, and like a tux, and Mia's like the focal point, as you can tell, because the yellow stands out like in contrast to the dark purple sunset, and she's obviously one of the protagonists, and they're dancing as well, so she's the main focus point. When you see the poster, she's the first thing your eyes go to.
Yeah, and the color theory really helps transmit the emotional state which the characters are on each scene, and I thought that was very phenomenal.
I really loved it. It made it more intense. It made it more. For me, it felt more intriguing to watch. Like a lot of times, I kind of don't want to watch a movie because I get bored in the middle of it. And I know that this one is a very serious movie. In certain parts, it can be a little bit lighthearted, but it's mostly like a serious movie. And for me, it was kind of a first for me not to get bored. I was very intrigued throughout the whole movie, and I really loved watching it.
Which is very good considering that the movie is long, very very long.
But I
So
feel like
yeah,
the colors really made it the like happy and pops music it was.
And I also really loved the effects that they used with cameras. They kept on using the dolly effect, which they kept on zooming in and out on the characters, especially with like tense scenes, which I said like there's a lot of tense scenes in this movie. So if you're not in a serious mood, definitely wait until you're in a good and serious mood to watch it. It's kind of like if you've ever watched Interstellar, you need to be in a serious mood for that as well. So.
And I also feel like in the scenes where they're like sitting, for example, where Sebastian is playing piano, the light dims down, and he's the spotlight. It's like the same thing. He's the spotlight. He's the main actor of the scene, and it's like as if he was in a stage and the lights were. It's literally a stage.
And I feel like that kind of foreshadows the fact that they kind of have. This is a little bit of a little spoiler, so if you don't want to hear the spoiler, you skip this part. But it kind of foreshadows the fact that they kind of, Mia and Sebastian, kind of start drifting apart because both of them are very enthralled in their dreams and kind of get lost in it. And so those little snippets of like Sebastian, for example, being in the spotlight and just being, it kind of shows that he's by himself, he's in the moment, he's in his dream, and there's no space for another person in that space. So it kind of just shows that like they're kind of drifting. It kind of foreshadows them being away. They're in their own person, and there's not a lot of space for both of them in their dream.
Not stage, but like there's spotlight for one of them at each time.
Yeah. However, that was the moment for them to have it. So
to shine.
they had the moment at the same time. Yeah. So it didn't just work out for them. So yeah, that was the end of the spoiler. But overall, how did you guys feel about the movie? Do you think it was a bop or a flop?
I think it was a bop. It was a bop because considering actual facts and being rational, that the movie is good and that there's no. I mean, you can't argue with facts. Like the color theory is very phenomenal. The way that everything is thought out is phenomenal. The acting is phenomenal. So that makes the movie good for me and a bop. But my personal opinion, I don't know.
What would you rate it? Out of 10?
Out of 10, a 7.
A 7. Okay, what about you, Manu?
I want to be the opposite and say that I didn't really like it.
Okay.
It's a great movie, honestly, but I just don't understand the hype.
Oh, okay.
Because it's a good movie. It's well written. It's well directed. It's great acting from some parts.
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I just weren't feeling
I
it.
just wasn't feeling it. Maybe I wasn't in the mood to watch
Mm.
something like this, but I don't know. It just feel like it was distant, you know. Like,
Okay, so it
wasn't-
was kind of disappointing for you.
It was kind of disappointing. It
Okay.
wasn't a bad movie, but I just
Mhm.
wouldn't rewatch it, and I really don't really understand how the global success it was.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like it was a global success because of Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling, which are really famous actors,
Mhm.
and they're really well known. So I feel like just people wanted to watch because of them, and their chemistry was incredible. But I just feel like the movie overall wasn't that good.
What do you rate it out of 10?
Like a 5.5, 6. It wasn't.
Oh,
it's not
that's
that
actually
bad.
kind of high for like
It's
a
kinda
flop.
high.
Okay.
It's not
What?
bad,
That's
but
horrible.
it's not bad. It's not bad. It just wasn't a 9, an 8.
Okay. For me personally, I think it was a bop. I really loved it. Honestly, I think it's one of my favorite movies, which is kind of hard to do. And I think it's a 10. I'm sorry, but that's what I feel. Okay, so sounds great. That's our review on
so
La La Land.
Was it a bop or a flop?
For me, bop. You flop,
Yeah.
and her bop.
Yeah.
So
Thank
overall
you,
bop.
guys.
Overall bop.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.